And hello there, you're welcome to Sister Sister on Citi TV and also live on Citi FM. We are, of course, live on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182 as well. My name is Jessica, regular hostess for this particular show. And for the next approximately 60 minutes, we're going to be talking about relationships and all the things that happen therein. Yes, the show is brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. It's also brought to you by Talia Rice, always coming home to love, and Onga, Mama's helping hand. We'll go for a quick break. When we return, I'll introduce the ladies on the show with me tonight. I will tell you how you can join the conversation as well, and then we'll set the ball rolling. Don't go anywhere. And you're welcome back, Sister Sister, on Citi TV and Citi FM. All right, so tonight there are various ways, as always, that you can join the conversation, and we try to spread it wide so everybody can participate. Now, first, you can like our page on Facebook. All right, Sister Sister LIVE, Sister Sister Live. Like our page, join in the conversations that go on our wall, or send us a DM. Alternatively, you can send a WhatsApp to 054-998-6996. As the show goes live, we'd love to hear your comments on some of the stories, or if you have a question you'd like to ask us, feel free to do so. And finally, you can always send an email to jessica@citifmonline.com. Before the show, during the show, after the show, either way works. So yes, that's how you can be part of our conversation tonight. In-house though, I do have two sisters joining me, one joining us virtually. I'll take my time to introduce them, starting with the one who is not present. Eugenia Techi Menson is our guest on Sister Sister tonight. What's going on, girl?
It's good to see you.
Indeed.
So excited to be here.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, girl.
Too long.
I hope you're well, though.
I'm good.
Super.
Really good.
Super. You look well as well. So thanks for joining us on Sister Sister. Plus, in-house, I do have Olivia.
Hello.
And I have Sandria.
Hey.
Good to see you, ladies.
Good to be here.
What's the occasion? You're looking really,
I'm trying.
fully highish.
I'm trying.
Well, you went to Jamaica or America?
Oh, as COVID has come and America going has become some way, because you have to do COVID test before, do COVID test after.
I know.
Charlie, so if you can't go to America,
bring America home.
Bring America home.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like
so
it.
I've missed my New York days.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what's
going on.
That's what's up. You look well. I
am
like
well.
the look.
I am well. Thank you.
Olivia, the family okay?
Everyone okay.
Thank you. The Les Coussins are thriving?
They are.
Good.
They are.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. Tired, but good. Yeah.
Well, you're still here, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Super. Ladies, we'll jump right in, because people are waiting to hear from us. So this message, our first one says, "Hi Jess, I'm 43, my wife is 40. We've been married for 10 years. We have been trying to have a child since we got married, but it hasn't been fruitful. We have been to different hospitals, but the results are the same. We're both healthy. We have even been to prayer camps, but still no result. My wife is really sad and almost depressed. She feels like she's growing too old. I have tried to convince her that God's time is the best. Issue now is she is convincing me to adopt a child or get a surrogate. I'm not in support of either suggestions. How do I convince her to keep hope alive?" That's our first message for today. Livy, let me come to you.
It's going
What
to
do
be
you
hard
think?
convincing her. Because she's tried it all. It's been a while, and she's desperate. All she wants is a child. And I've had cases over and over and over again of people who were not able to have children, but immediately they decided to adopt. Then the woman gets pregnant. It's almost as though all the tension and all the stress from trying so hard to get pregnant just sort of sways, and the attention goes onto this little beautiful bundle of love, and like immediately everything opens up, and then your hormones, like things that you didn't realize that you had, just begin to unearth. So it's going to be hard. And I don't know why you don't want to adopt. I don't know why you're completely you've completely decided to cancel that, it's definitely an option. And to have a surrogate mother, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You've been to the doctors, there's nothing wrong with you. She's got healthy eggs, you've got healthy sperm. Bring it together, put it into this other woman who is ready and willing, to birth this child for you and make it happen. If you think that's too complicated and that's too expensive, Charlie, there's the children who are looking for love. There's children, Osu Children's Home, there's children everywhere. I think that you shouldn't rule it out. I mean, and to be honest, you need to take it one day at a time, and you need to be there for her. You need to encourage her. You can't just decide, oh no, that's not an option. I mean, God forbid, assuming she's just not meant to have children, what are you going to do? Is she going to be miserable the rest of her life? No. Open yourself up to love. Open yourself up to other opportunities. See how you can make it work. But by all means, don't forget to pray. Don't forget to stop praying. I'm not all up for, well, it depends. If you're associating yourself with a good Bible-believing praying church, sure, why not? Because at the end of the day, they're miracles. God, for me, I really do know that God is still in the miracle business. There are people who've waited time and time and time again, and they still had their own children. So don't keep faith alive. Don't let your faith die, but take it one day at a time and encourage your wife and open up yourself to opportunities to adopt.
Okay.
And take it from there. That's what I think, really.
Cool beans. I mean, she is 40, certainly she should be concerned. Wouldn't you say, Drea?
She should be concerned. It's an interesting story because this was my life. And yes, the doctors will say there's nothing wrong because all the tests say you're fine. And he needs to understand that the reason she's feeling pressured is society. Society makes us believe that you're not woman enough until you've had your own child. It's unfortunate, but that's our socialization. And so it'll be almost impossible for you to convince her. I don't know why you're against surrogacy or adoption. Look, not every woman is meant to bear children. There are women who have what they call incompetent cervixes, which was what my situation was. She'll actually get pregnant and she'll miscarry. You don't want to put her through that. I went through that 6 times.
Wow.
It messes with your mind, it messes with your emotions, it messes with your marriage and all of that. So if it's not happening, and yes, God's time is the best. God works through mysterious ways. God comes through different ways. If you're meant to have a child, you will have a child. Even if she's 60, if she's ever meant to have a baby, if God wants her to have a biological baby from her stomach, that's what will happen. But between now and then, why let her go through this? Because, a woman feels incomplete. It's not right, but we feel incomplete when we haven't had children because that's how we've been socialized. At 40, most people will tell you that, in fact, she should be not trying to have children because her body, the risk of... The other day I was discussing with a guy, a new friend of mine, that I want to have another one. I'm 45. He says, look, the risk of Down syndrome, the risk of, all of those things increase the older you get. So if she's 40 and she's worried, indeed, she has cause to worry. Nothing stops you from adopting. Adoption is one of the most beautiful things you can do for a fellow human being. There are babies out there who need love consistently. All the time. There are parents who will never have children. Nothing stops you from being the parent who's not having children, from taking a baby that needs the love and the care. Surrogacy is a beautiful thing. Look, we say God. God is the one who gave the scientists the mind to come up with surrogacy. So if you have viable sperm and she has viable eggs, even if she doesn't have viable eggs, nothing stops you from using a surrogate. It'll still be your child. He or she will still be your child. So maybe if there's anybody who needs convincing, it's you rather than her. That's what I think.
Cool. Eugenia, let me bring you in. I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah, well, I think that it's quite unfortunate that this 43-year-old man feels this way. I think there's a major lack of empathy where he's not putting himself in the woman's shoes. And I will base it on 3 points. I'll look at it first of all from the emotional aspect of it. Obviously, this is a woman who's brooding. She wants a child. As he has stated in his letter to us, there's nothing wrong with the both of them. So it's not her fault, it's not your fault. So in that case, but she wants a child. I think what we probably needed to find, or he needed to have added, was whether he wants a child himself. Because so I didn't get that in his tone. Because if he did want it, then I'm sure we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. Because if you want a child and you're a Bible believing or Christian, who is the best model of being a father to a non-biological son like Joseph? And we say we believe the Bible. If we do, and we want to model some of these people, we must live it. Then we must live the life. Jesus was not Joseph's biological son, as we're told in the Bible. So what prayer camps are we going to that we're not hearing things like the option would be to either go for surrogacy or go for adoption? I say that no greater love is expressed than going for someone else's child and deciding I will make them mine. I have greater respect personally. I have greater respect for people who decide to adopt, because if you have your own child, you have no choice but to love them. It came out of you. But if you choose someone's and say, I'm going to make you mine, now that takes a lot of bigger heart, Christ-like. And we say we're Christians, and this is how we should look. Now, if we come back to his case again, physically, and I've heard this myself, and not from friends, but from doctors. Look, physically, when you hit 40, it's not that it's impossible, but it takes a toll on your body as a woman. It just does. It would slow you down. It could. Again, it doesn't, not every woman goes through this. So there are exceptions. After all, Janet Jackson had a baby when she was 49, 50? But let's not forget that we don't know what she went through. We just saw her pregnant at one time, and then at the end of it, she had a baby. So whilst technology is, changing things as we knew it, nature remains what it is. And I think, like Olivia said, there have been cases where you choose to either adopt or go for surrogacy, and the next thing you know, you have it yourself. It could also be that because they've been focused on it for the last, 10 years is what he says, it's also not helping. Because just like breast milk, with breast milk, when you're stressed and you keep thinking, I'm not releasing breast milk, that's when it doesn't come. It should come naturally. When you're under stress, it won't come. So I think that he needs to look at it from the emotional, and that's why I was saying there seems to be a lack of empathy. If he looks at it from the emotional need of the woman, if we look at it from the physical, she's 40. In body-wise, she's probably 45. In terms of the fact that the quality of her eggs may not be the same, it may not be the her body itself at 40, for a woman at 40, it's not like when you were in your 20s or your 30s. Those are facts we can't run away from. Then there's a financial implication. For 10 years, you've been doing hospitals and churches. It must have cost you something. Now, if you want a child, you need to actually budget for them before they come. So if in wanting to have a child, have we even planned for it? So that's the financial aspect that I would say, have we looked at that even? And the last question that I said, I'm asking because it didn't come up, does he want a child?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a question you put out there, because it's not really
I think he wants
clear.
a child,
but he says we've been trying
from a woman's perspective.
That's right.
Because
Also,
he's like, let's keep having faith. How do I convince my wife
Right.
that we can
It's gonna happen,
it can happen? But he doesn't get it. It's a woman's
and
thing.
it's easier for him to not get it because the pressure is hardly ever on men.
Thank you.
And they can pretty much do this until
Nobody ever judges a man on. I remember a friend of mine saying to me, Drea, who are you bisa sa ukunu ye hwan? Yebisa se ne ma eye hwan, ne nananom eye hwan. It's more a woman thing.
Right.
It's And that's how we've been socialized.
Right.
And so when you hear a woman say, I don't want to have children, everybody looks like, But yeah, it's the way, to be a woman, it's rite of passage. It's one of the things that makes you a woman.
Right.
So it's easier for him to be in this position of, oh, let's keep waiting. But she doesn't have the time. She's probably seeing her friends' children.
Yeah.
They've been married 10 years.
Yeah.
Her friends have had children. And trust me, infertility is a difficult thing to deal with because you see your friends having babies and you know you should be happy for them and you try to be happy for them. But you go home and you're like, Charlie, so me when? You know, Charlie,
Yeah.
so me when. She's going through a lot. And it makes it even harder for her to conceive.
Right.
Because the stress, the
Constantly
pressure,
thinking.
all of that.
And
Charlie,
then the sex becomes a chore.
yes.
Rather
Actually, and then
than-
it becomes,
Because-
I actually had a friend who went through the same thing. And at a point, the sex became like,
Mechanical.
Yeah.
yes, and,
Like-
and 3 times daily. And yeah,
Yeah, the
let's it. Oh, I'm ovulating
You're
now.
bleeding.
Yes. And
Really?
Oh yeah,
Seriously.
seriously. And when you're doing fertility treatment, you're taking fertility shots and all of that.
Yeah.
So you're timing the sex and making sure that and you're having specific positions.
Yeah,
like
the
having sex.
positions.
Yes. Okay, so I have to have it at this time in this position. Keep
Yeah,
my legs
legs
up
up.
for 15 minutes to
Yeah.
ensure that it implants
Uh-huh.
and all of that. And then there's the whole environment. Look, infertility is a whole new ball game.
And the depression that comes after, you
Yes,
miss your period.
yes,
Oh.
and then
no, you don't miss.
you
your
don't miss your period.
It's draining.
So he really doesn't get
Whew,
it.
yeah.
So if anybody needs convincing,
And
it's
she
That's
actually
probably him.
needs the child to distract her from all of this.
from
so
all
just
of this,
give
yes,
it to her.
yes.
Let me bring in a couple of our viewers, Vivian and listeners. Vivian says, both of you can't force God's gift into your lives, but if it seems to be affecting her, just adopt. What she needs to understand is that with or without a child, she is a complete woman. And then it says, adopt, but don't give up. Try other means within your reach to see how this turns out. You're probably skeptical because of the misconceptions that have been created in the past, but take a bold step and beat off those misconceptions. Sometimes you can find the beauty you need when you least expect it. I wish you the very best, and I pray a beautiful marriage, a beautiful miracle in your marriage. Ira says, try other options like IVF or surrogacy. You can adopt and keep trying as well. Even if your own baby comes, it's still a blessing to take care of another child. Stop delaying and taking a good decision. Good luck. Ikuya says, if you have money, you can have anything in this world. Have you considered IVF? Find any good fertility hospital and you will get what you want. There are so many ways and options to help your wife get pregnant or get a baby. Seek for specialist advice, but just get ready to spend. Da Costa says, sir, for her sake, adopt one, which I think will make her feel better. Who knows? God can give you guys one other after the adoption. But when that happens, she shouldn't forget what she went through and start treating the other one badly. Samuel says, look, you people are aging and the earlier you act, the better. Just agree to the surrogate advice because every time is God's best time. Yo. Bright says, you guys need to relax. Mental stability is very important to having children. Stop doing the unnecessary prayers and fasting. Stop taking all kinds of medicine. Just be yourselves. Relax and have sex for fun. The pregnancy will come by itself. And finally, Akosia says, my suggestion will sound like it's witchcraft, but it works for some people. Kindly look for snail shells. The big one. Let her tie it to her waist during sleep. Note, do not sleep with her on that bed that night. The next day, you can sleep with her.
Okay.
Trust me, you will hear a testimony.
Amen.
I refuse that in Jesus' name.
Why are you refusing it?
It's
And
on
please,
this
prayer and fasting works.
No, hang on. No, he said this person is saying that it will sound like witchcraft. Maybe it's something that has worked for her.
Or
So why are you refusing it? And especially if it will give her a child.
She didn't say it's juju. She just said tie a
Tie a snail to your shit.
weird.
You eat snails.
And don't sleep with her in the middle of the night.
But
So
that's
if she's
the
not
procedure.
conceiving via regular sex, how is she like?
Okay, so
there's stuff in this world, though.
No, but I feel like
sleeping
you're
with her in the realms of the spirit to get her pregnant.
so the snail
Her
has
husband is not sleeping. At no point in time is her husband involved in this snail.
No. She only said that night. The night that she ties the snail is when he didn't sleep with her.
So if she doesn't do that, then she'll get pregnant.
After that, he can sleep with her and make her pregnant.
it's just one day.
Charlie, some way.
So I
pray
wanted to add on that the age thing. Okay, so like somebody else mentioned, they're getting older, and the older you get, the less, what's the word?
Active your eggs are.
Not just no. I'm not even talking scientifically. Children become. There's a reason why you have a childbearing age. Do you understand? Sure. Because their little problems start to irritate you more the older you get. Because after a certain age, you're irritated. Which is why then you're a grandparent. So you can excuse those things. But as a parent, it gets harder.
Right.
So the sooner you have children, the better. Plus, I mean, really, if the Bible says we've been giving 70 years, really and truly, if we're going by the Bible, you've only got 30 years left to spend with a child.
Pretty much.
Do it quickly.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I mean, my mother says to me, I'm the last of 8. She says to me all the time, if there's any of my children I should spend more time with, it is with you. Because the first 7, I've had more years with. She had me in her 39th year.
Oh, wow.
Do you understand? So basically, if you want to spend as much time as possible with your child before
Whatever
you leave,
happens.
the quicker, the better.
Eugene, I don't know what you think about the snail thing, but yeah, if you have no
Oh,
comments.
I think I agree with you that it was a suggestion. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say I would pray against it. I don't see. I mean, she just said. I thought it was a snail shell, but if it's snail
shell, yeah.
The big snail shell.
Snail shell,
Yeah.
So snail shell. Why not? I mean, if you're trying IV, if that works, and if well, I mean, I don't think they'll lose anything. They try it. I don't think so. So there's nothing wrong.
Okay.
I mean, I'd rather snail shell than go to all those prayer camps where they're
giving you
pastors
concoctions.
sleep with you and
No.
you know. Oh yes, yes.
I do know that that's happening. That's
It
why
happens.
I said
Yes.
that you need to find yourself in a prayer
Believing
church.
Yes.
Don't go to those camps where they, and ask God for the spirit of discernment, because it's very necessary.
Absolutely.
Because you can get yourself so desperate that you end up just going for any Tom, Dick, and Harry of a pastor. And there are fake ones out there.
A lot.
And trust me, more time with God, reading the Bible and pursuing Him, and adopt.
And
Charlie,
no
you'll be
snail
fine.
shells,
And
for
no
sure.
snails. He says with a bunu. It will make this thing for the husband.
Okay. We'll go for a commercial break. We'll be right back. It's Sister. Welcome back. Sister, Citi TV, Citi FM. Your comments are welcome on 054-998-6996. A message here says, I'm a lady, 25 years, staying with my sister and her husband in Accra. My sister has been taking care of me since her parents passed away when I was in primary 2. I'm currently in level 200 in a premier university in the country. My problem is her husband and I have been dating since I was in JHS 3. And the relationship grows stronger each passing day. He now wants to make me his second wife because in my tribe, it's accepted. But I don't want that. Rather, I want him all to myself because he's a very good man and good in bed and also very generous. He says it's either I become his second wife or he divorces my sister and marries me. His reason being that he can't afford to lose me to any other man. Please, what should I tell my sister? I need your advice. No insults, please.
Really?
So you saw it coming. Okay. Drea.
We are bay for pa. No.
I know.
Bay for pop. How is your sister looking after you since your parents died? And this is how you want to repay it. I don't have any advice. I don't. Please move on. Right? Except she's a bay for. No, I don't have anything else to say. We are bay for.
Oh dear.
Livy.
So where do I start from? So, I mean, I'm picking up from what Drea said. Like, your story was very pathetic. And I can imagine your big sister holding you or taking care of you, giving you the very best of all that she had, just so that you don't miss mom mom's presence. And she's in a relationship. Everything is going well. You were in GSS.
What's wrong with
When
you?
the guy started making advances at you, at no point in time didn't you think that, brah, please, Jan Krasisem, you're my sister's husband. It should not be happening. And you know what even drives me crazy is the fact that she says in their family,
It's allowed.
It's allowed. So if it's allowed and you're doing it, doesn't make it right. And you do know that what you're doing isn't right. So why are you asking us not to insult you? This is what I think. Because the man himself is a good for nothing twat. Because at the end of the day, I think both of you deserve each other. I feel so bad and so hurt for your sister. Because to be honest, she doesn't deserve both of you in her life. Because technically, this guy is convincing you and telling you, sir, you know, he can't leave you to be, he would rather have you as a second wife. He's ready to divorce his wife, so he has you. Like, cheating blatantly, and you have no conscience. You had the effrontery to also say, sir, you know, you want him all to yourself.
Yeah, you see, and that's why I say she's a
Are
very
you
phone.
serious?
Because you see, the husband is willing to add you on to your
as a
sister.
second
But
wife.
you, dear, you say, no, I don't want to share. Go and leave my sister. Witchcraft,
Really?
too. Witchcraft,
What
I say,
a
hey,
lie.
witchcraft is not nipple to pel. Subain.
And it hurts so much because I don't even want to begin what the big sister will feel
Would
like.
feel.
I
How
don't-
many years of
because
betrayal?
Sasemwe, ebony padamo. You know, but honestly, it will hurt her. But this is what I think. Stand in front of your sister and tell your sister that you're a selfish, inconsiderate woman who is sleeping with her husband, and her husband also doesn't. You must do it with your husband, because honestly, I don't think that she deserves to be treated the way she's been treated. And I can't convince the man to love her, and neither can I convince you to stop cheating on
It's been how many years?
It's been how many years for
Since
crying out? You have
JHS3.
no intentions of repenting. You have no intentions of letting go of the man. Tell her that this is what you're doing. Or maybe both of you just leave this woman alone.
You've
Get
been
up one
doing
day
it.
and just leave, because I think that a silent escape would be the best, because mamine huya memobo.
No,
you
but
see,
you
like you
see-
said the other time, when somebody cheats,
Yes.
right? And you confess, who are you doing a favor to?
Yourself, or but you see, a silent escape this one will ruin the
will
sister,
be probably
because
worse.
she won't understand.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you've been doing it with your chest, Abby. Tell your sister with your chest.
Yeah.
Say, sister, I have been sleeping with your husband, and now I want him to leave you for me.
And
Say it with your chest. now.
Gia, check this out. She claims that the guy is good in bed. So had she not been sleeping around, how would she have known that the guy is good in bed?
She
So
a
you
hoe.
are Kasan
She a
and
hoe.
who wants him?
Well, maybe that's all she knows, right?
Or then how would she know?
How would
he's
she know?
good?
What's she based-
What
she
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 comparing
likes,
it
she
with?
likes what he's doing.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, she
So
likes what
I
he's
think
doing.
both of you deserve each other.
Tell
But
your
take
sister
your
with
sister
your
out
chest.
of it.
Tell
because
her.
your sister doesn't deserve it. And I hope that your sister doesn't have kids with this other woman, because technically
guy,
what's
yeah.
This
going to
other
be
guy.
happening? It's going to be a big mess. He has kids with her, so like you guys are cousin, like it's a mess. It's a complete mess, and you're selfish, my dear. You're wicked. Okay, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Eugenia, let me bring you in. What do you think?
Well, so it's unfortunate, okay? It's really an unfortunate situation. And I'm going to speak to Pearl, was that her name? I'm just going to speak to her as, as though she were here. Obviously, she's listening, but this is the angle I would come from, Pearl. So I think that her brother-in-law took advantage of her when she was in JHS3 should be addressed. It's part of what is called grooming. She was a child when he approached her. It is not her responsibility to ward him off. She may have tried. We don't know that. She may have tried to ward him off. It didn't happen. So he's groomed her, and she's, as it were, stuck on him. she's been stuck on him for whatever number of years. Okay, since JHS 3 and 25, obviously more than 10 years. Now, you are an adult now. Okay, so your conscience should be able to kick in. You know right from wrong. Even babies know right from wrong. But to now, I think like Sandra was saying, to now want to say that, so even to begin with, before I address what Sandra was saying, your conscience should really be weighing you down that this is my sister. She means well for me. Obviously, the husband has been having an affair, basically is what it is, an affair with you since you were a child. By now you do know it's wrong, and that's why you're forewarning us. So once you know it is wrong, then we will now address you from that point. That, as I say, I will have empathy as in the fact that when it started, you didn't know better, as it were. You were in a vulnerable position. You had lost your mother, your parent, and so your sister helped, and he came through and took advantage of you. Granted, but you're an adult now. And you do know right from wrong. To be able to even get to the point to say, I would not marry, but I would rather he kick my sister out. Now, that is ingratitude. And I think that is where we actually need to draw the line. Because we have a saying in Akan, no? So whatever he does to your sister, he's definitely going to do to you. I don't think... like Olivia is saying, I don't think that she's been sleeping around. I think she knows no other. And that's why she feels this way about this particular one. You are only 23, 25. The world is out there for you. It's an oyster. What should you tell your sister? It's difficult for me to say. The only reason is that I just think that whatever we tell you, you're going to do what you want. You're really going to do what you want. But should your sister find out, I think this is where you should look at it from. Should your sister find out, how would she take it? Do you even have any feelings for your sister? Are you worried? If your sister finds out, she may go mental, she may, does that bother you? You didn't address that. You're just asking us to tell you how to go and tell your sister. And I think I agree with, I think it was Olivia, that if you must tell your sister, then go with her husband. Obviously, he's not going to come with you. And there are some women I know who would always take their husband's word over yours, regardless of who you are, whether you're their sister, their mother, they'll take their husband's word. Her husband will deny that he did anything with you in JHS 3 and that you threw yourself at him. So any way you look at it, you won't win. You will not win. You're 25. By now, I believe you should be working or looking for a job. If I were in your shoes, I would ask for forgiveness, pray to my God and ask for forgiveness, and flee. Leave the house. Flee. Don't tell us, but I don't have money. Find it. He's probably been giving you money. Find it and leave. Pair with a friend if you can't follow. If you really want to solve the problem, I will say that this is how you should go about it. But if you don't, then you've made your bed and you're laying in it.
Yeah, I mean, see, for all this, I love the fact that, Eugenia, you hammered on the fact that the man preyed on her at the beginning. Not to justify her behavior now, but if he even slept with her, that was statutory rape. Because what?
Yes.
JSS 3, she'll be like 15, 14,
Yes.
So this is like another police case on the side, but this whole thing is just like, it sounds like a movie to me. It's unbelievable.
But she's at a point whereby she doesn't care about anything.
Yeah, she doesn't care about her sister anymore. Obviously.
To herself.
So I don't know what kind of advice she wants, because we don't condone such behavior. Like, we can't advise what to tell your sister.
No, really?
Tell her the truth. Tell her the truth. Like, tell her the truth.
Like I said, say it with your chest. Go and say, please, I've been sleeping with your husband.
And you're telling her because you want to stop, or you're telling her
because
the man
to say. So you feel me? Like, so what do you want us to say?
You deserve each other.
Go and tell her that I've been sleeping with your husband, and now I want him to leave you for me. So can you please pack out of your marital home so I can take over?
But do you know what could be interesting? What if this man is just leading her on?
But he probably is.
Because
you want to bet that he won't even
advantage of, yes.
Like Junior was saying, he could decide, hey, no, that what you're saying is not correct. It's not true. Because he wants to keep enjoying you.
Both of them.
He wants to marry both of them.
Yeah.
And she's saying no. Okay. We move.
Yeah.
This world,
It's
you know,
Sister,
balance.
Sister, Charlie. On Sister, Sister. And of course, we'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Sister Sister on Citi FM and Citi TV. Remember, your comments are welcome on 054 998 6996. Okay, let's jump into yet another message. And this says, hello, Jess. I love the way you and your guest handle issues. I have a problem and I need your help. I'm in a relationship with a guy who wants to marry me, but I'm not prepared at the moment. So I asked for more time. He's in Accra. I'm in Kumasi. He wants us to have sex each time I pay him a visit. Anytime I talk about no sex before marriage, he gets either upset or sad. I've explained to him that I want to reach a certain level in life before I get pregnant out of wedlock. But he doesn't mind fathering a child because he said we will definitely get married. Because of his constant pressure, I've decided not to visit him for a while. And because of this, he has started accusing me of cheating on him. I'm tired of trying to explain things to him. Please help me, sisters, because I'm confused. I don't know how to help myself and him at the same time. He's a hardworking man, so I don't want to lose him. Thank you. Eugenia, I'm coming to you with this one.
So I want to take it from the end. He's a hardworking man. Does that make you, does not make you not a hardworking woman then? I think that these are some of the challenges or the problems that we begin to create before we even get into marriage. You don't want to leave him because he's hardworking. What does that suggest? That therefore you're going to be dependent on him. And therefore, if you're going to be dependent on him, then you will have to comply with everything he says. It means it's a 70-30, 90-10, where he's bringing 90 and you're bringing 10. It's not balanced, okay? It's not balanced. And it's a marriage a marriage is a partnership. It's meant to be a partnership. Partnerships could be 50-50, could be 60-40, but there's a mutual level of understanding and respect that needs to be worked with. So for me, the way she ended it kind of sounded a bit off for me. Not to say she's incorrect in putting it that way, but it's just off. I'm thinking if that's my brother and that's what you're saying about him, then it means, he's taking care of you and you like that. You don't want to change. Then in that case, then why don't you go by what he says? In terms of him, complaining that because you don't want to have premarital sex, in terms of him complaining of cheating, it's just reverse psychology. I mean, he's guilting you. He's trying to find out whether it's because you're sleeping with someone else and that's why you don't want to be with him. And I'm sure as a woman, you do know that if you don't, well, we're telling you that that's what it is. Now, to the issue of your own principles, and that's what I've noticed that a lot of women tend not to have. What are your principles? And you lay your card on the table. So if your principle, which you stated, was that you didn't want to have sex before marriage or you don't want to have kids out of wedlock, and it's non-negotiable, it's non-negotiable. You cannot help him. It's for him to decide, okay, I can live with this or not. Obviously, from what you're saying, he can't live with it. So I'm sure I'm making it sound very simple and straightforward. But if you have principles, you are normally respected for it. Because if he's only throwing this thing of cheating at you because he can't find anything else, if you renege on your own principles, it will come back and bite you someday. It will definitely come back and bite you. Because he will tell you that, oh, you said this before we got married, but you did it. And so once I see you with this man, then it must mean that. Your principles should be your principles. You don't want to have sex before marriage, or you don't want to have kids out of wedlock, so be it. There are men out there who also would not want that. To say that because he's not the only hardworking man in the world. I'm not even going to say in the country. Mm-hmm. He's not the only hardworking man. So if that's your excuse, then I'm here to tell you that you will find hardworking men who share the same ideals as you do have. I think that this thing of not being sure what we want to do, and so we want second advice. We normally know what we want to do, but we just want someone to confirm whether we're right or wrong. But you do know You do know that these are your principles. You do know how you feel about him. Matter of fact, you're not here to defend yourself. So I could say, I could almost vouch from the tone of your letter that you probably are going to give in. The tone of your letter suggests that, you're at your wit's end and you're probably going to give in because he's a hardworking man. I mean, I keep coming to that reason because I find it there are hardworking men out there in the world. Trust me, there are tons of them. So that can't be your only reason. Does he match up with the other ideals you have? What do you want in a man? We as women, we need to begin to have standards. Men do. Men will say, I want a light-skinned woman. I want a woman with hips. I want a woman who's at this age. Women tend not to. If we do, we begin to, settle. We begin to settle. But if you have your ideals, you do have it. If you want to change your ideals, nobody would hold it against you. But then don't come asking for, as it were, confirmation, or don't come asking for what you know a third party will say that will not tally with how you feel. You're the one in the relationship. You're the one feeling how you feel. And I believe you really like this guy. I can't speak to love, but I believe you really, really like this guy and the fact that he's hardworking. And so I think that, it's really up to you. If you will let go of your ideals, then you live with the consequences. If, let's say, it's kids you don't want out of wedlock, you know what to do. You're a woman. There are contraceptives out there. If it is out of wedlock that's bothering you. If it is premarital sex, then you know what to do. Then let's get married. Then get married. But then again, I will caution you that if the reason for getting married is to have kids, then let's make sure he feels the same way. If he doesn't, then you have different reasons for getting married, and that is the beginning of challenges to come in the marriage.
Interesting point there. Right. Livy.
At which point is having a child out of wedlock cool? And why have you managed to get him to convince you for you to actually consider and give it a timing? Do you see what I mean? Like, she's decided, oh, okay, I don't mind having a child for you, but you wait, when I'm 25, I'll have a child, but don't marry me. Like, so you don't have any standards. You don't have, like, what is his goal for the relationship? What is the objective for the relationship? Like, so you are succumbing to his bickerings and his immaturity. And you do know what you want for yourself, which is to keep your knickers on. Do you know what, sweethearts? Maybe a chill t-shirt, okay? Maybe cable t-shirt. Oh no. Then I will make sure that I pledge to keep my knickers on, because that's what you believe in. You cannot let go of your beliefs, your ethics, your morals, what makes you you, just because of some toy boy who feels like, you should do whatever he wants. So okay, so you have a child with him, and then what? What does it guarantee? So you make him happy. At which point in time is he growing up to think that this relationship is hand go, hand come? I need to also step up as a man to love my girlfriend to the extent that I need to make sure she's happy, she's okay, everything. Because you know what? For me, I go by the principle, men love your wives, women be submissive, or women respect your man. It's not easy for men to love women. Neither is it easy for women to completely submit. And you need to find a man who loves everything about you, who is ready to wait for you, a man who loves you enough to understand where you're coming from. And I don't think that this guy has it. And it's very unfortunate that you should think that you love him because, you can't let him go because he's hardworking. He's hardworking but doesn't have any balls. Like, at which point in time is that? Like, so he's hardworking, so you want the money. Like, what do you also want for yourself? Like, are you going to school? Do you want to be independent? Do you want something for yourself? Do you want something for your life? Like, what do you want for yourself as a young woman? Why should your life be completely dependent on some guy who wants you to just have a child for him? Sweetheart, I know my friend. It's not somebody, my friend. They were together. She was in a long relationship with this guy. She kept herself, no, I won't do. I want my knickers on. I won't do. Guy said, okay, no problem. Let's go. We'll get the engagement thing. Come and meet my mommy. Come and meet my daddy. Oh, we'll go and do knocking. We'll go and do, oh, they got clothes. They got the cloth. They got the suitcase. Got everything. So, oh, okay, we're almost there. So if I give it to you, and yes, they did it, and it suits me, it suits you. The guy didn't marry the girl.
Oh boy.
They didn't get married. Like it doesn't do jack. Okay, and like I always say, you open up to him, you open up yourself to all sorts of things, and you have to live with the consequences. Sweetheart, keep your knickers on. Focus on beautiful things surrounding your life. Focus on your future. Focus on what you want to do with your life, rather than some guy who wants to tell you what to do every second. There's so much more to life besides having sex. Why should the relationship be dependent on sex? Why? And the fact that he's really playing on you. He's in Accra and you're somewhere, and he's telling you, say, you're cheating on him. So what is he doing? Like
he's probably cheating on her.
He's probably cheating. Like, my guy, like, sweethearts, like, you know what? This is what I think. You see, it will get to a point in time whereby, okay, you have sex with him today. Tomorrow he's bored. He hops on to the next project. And then what happens to you? And then assuming you even end up together. And then at which point in time are you going to have some kind of value to say, yo, Masa, you know what? This is not cool. Like, at which point in time are you going to say no? So tell him, no, you're not interested. Let him go, Masa.
Jana
Maninko, this is too much wahala, man. Jana Maninko. You find a hard-working guy who loves you for you, who values your values as a young woman. Don't be fickle-minded. Don't be Masa.
Drea, can't wait to hear you. You got that book.
So you see, I hardly quote from the Bible. But it is with good reason that the Bible says, do not be unequally yoked.
Thank you.
Okay. It's a beautiful thing to have principles. You started off and she said she's not ready. And that's when I knew what the answer was. You have principles. It's beautiful. We're in 2021. Trust me. There are very few of you. There are very, very few young women who are principled enough to say, I want to wait till after marriage. Stick to your principles. Believe me, there are young men out there who want to wait till after marriage too, who are equally hardworking. Do not let this man who's in Accra probably doing God knows what on your blind side convince you into losing your principles, changing your values. Don't do that. The Bible says, do not be unequally yoked. You're unequally yoked with this man. If you want to stay chaste until you're married, tell him, say, if you cannot wait, come and be going. Because the next man that I will find, and this is a conversation that needs to be had from the very beginning of a relationship. You know, I say all the time that we have relationships and we find ourselves in relationships rather than actually going into a relationship. You should have the conversation and say, look, if you're in a relationship with me, I'm not ready. I don't feel ready to have sex. I don't feel ready to get married. I don't feel ready to, I want to get to this stage. Are you willing to wait? Because if you're not willing to wait, let's not waste each other's time. Okay. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to come and pressure me into doing what I'm not ready to do. These are conversations that need to be had even before a full-blown, that's what they call the courting or the dating. I always mix those two. But basically, the knowing me, knowing you stage, these are the conversations that, darling, you have principles. I'm proud of you. Stick to your principles. Don't let me change your mind.
Oh, and keep your body as the temple of God and fellowship. Enjoy your body. Enjoy the moment.
You know, this just reminds me of, and I've said this on the show before, for those of you who have watched and listened to it for years, there was this guy I used to date back in the day who left me because I wouldn't sleep with him.
It's typical.
I was so brokenhearted. I was like, because I was into the guy, Charlie, my first. Well, no, he wasn't my first, but like, you know.
You were in love.
Yeah. This guy left me because I wouldn't sleep with him. And I think he he thought that if he threatened to leave, I would beg
You
him
beg
to stay.
him and then you would sleep with him.
No, I didn't.
No, that's what having principles.
Guess what?
Exactly. What?
3 days later, he messages me and says he was just joking.
No.
Too bad. Too
I
late.
said, oh, don't worry.
Oh, you're gone.
Continue joking. Let's continue. We're all joking.
Let us be continued.
So I'm jokingly over
Leaving
you.
Yes.
And that was it till date. It's funny. I connected with him just last year.
Yeah.
We were having a chat about it. But yeah, I mean, if you have principles, just stick to it.
Yeah.
You will thank yourself later. You know, there's nothing like giving up what you truly believe in for another person. You only to realize that they did you in and they didn't have your best interest at heart at all. You will never forgive yourself for it. So stick to your guns. And I do wish you the best of luck with that one. Let's read maybe our last message. We'll try and squeeze this in quickly. So it says, in 2001, I divorced my wife and we agreed to care for the kids together. I moved out and she moved back to the USA. Every time I visit them, she will invite me to the bedroom and we'll make love. She will cook, be very nice to me. But at the moment, she's not dating anybody. But I already have a girlfriend. I recently find myself visiting them 3 times a month instead of 3 times a year that we planned before. Last week, I asked her to marry me again.
She said no, Abby.
And she said no.
Oh, I like her.
That got me so angry and pissed off. What is all the cooking and being nice about if she's not for real? 1 minute each.
Please, say, you have no right to be angry. Please, oh, she was cooking for you and she Charlie Yankee some way. She doesn't want to be sleeping with some Makata boys. So as you come, they take you checking how far. That be all it be. You have gone to take a World Cup and gone to leave your girl. It's on you, massa. Please, you have no right to be angry. She has used you. It's over.
Savage. Olivia, 1 minute. Let's go.
It's cool. You can actually mark time around her. Do what it is that you have to do. Enjoy. Like, if I were you, I would go into dating all over again. Just
Dating who? Her?
his wife. His wife.
But she said no.
She said no. What if she's playing hard to get?
But she's sleeping with him and cooking for him.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
she has children for him. It's not hard to get
You
back
think
out.
so?
Please,
You don't think?
She they take him checking
Check in
how
fitness
far.
level.
Sharp.
In fitness level, that's your
Nice.
where you go take a World Cup. Where you they go? Who wants to marry you? I've been married to you before. I knew it wasn't good. That's why you were my ex.
Damn.
I know what it's like to be married to you. I don't want to be
But
married
okay,
to you
then
again.
technically she shouldn't be sleeping with him then. Or
Why?
he shouldn't be sleeping with her.
Yes, because she has
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
single. Yes,
Yeah, so
you're cheating on your girlfriend with me.
Okay, so hold on. So hold on. So now this guy, what exactly does he want?
He wants to be married.
What does he want?
He wants to marry
Because
his
then
wife.
we can decide not to have sex with his wife. Because if they're
But she's the one who's offering. She's being nice and everything.
so don't take it. So you two to flex
Don't take
him.
it, but you want it. Eugenia, talk to us.
Olivia, bless your heart. Well, bless your heart. Look, this woman is enjoying being the other woman, is what it is. She gets all the attention she wants. She's just enjoying being the other woman. Obviously, we haven't heard her side of the story. She probably will be telling us something different. And it will be the fact that the guy probably used to cheat on her and that's why they divorced. So if she's getting the opportunity to do it to him, yeah, she doesn't want to get married and go through all that again. So she's enjoying being a side chick.
Charlie, I've been married to you.
No, Charlie.
enjoy being a side guy and just
I mean,
with the
listen.
flow.
No, listen. It's not like I
never
haven't. It's
know.
not like I haven't been married to you before. I know what it's like to be married to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that I'm not married to you, you have a girlfriend, and I know you have a girlfriend, and you're sleeping with me. It means that you haven't changed. You're still a cheater.
That's a good point.
You're still a
That's
cheater.
a good point.
I ain't gonna marry you.
No.
I'll eat my cake and have it.
No, that's all.
That's all.
We'll end it here. Ladies, it's been great. Eugenia, thank you so much for joining us. Drea, Olivia as well for your time. And of course, for you, to you actually watching us every single week. Totally appreciate your audience. I mean, you're the ones who make the show what it is. If you have comments, if you have questions for us you'd like us to discuss on the show, remember to send that quick email to jessica@citifmonline.com. A big thank you to our sponsors, Vodafone, Together We Can, Talia Rice, Always Coming Home to Love, and Onga, Mama's Helping Hand. My name is Jessica. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.